Deep below the surface of the Pacific Ocean lies a massive, dark stretch of the seabed known as the Clarion-Clipperton Zone. Governments and mining corporations are currently sizing up this specific area as a $20 trillion frontier, the next major battlefield for global dominance. The targets down there are rare earth elements, or REEs. These metals are the mandatory raw ingredients required to build military security systems, advanced glass, industrial magnets, and modern green technology. This chart shows exactly why global superpowers are suddenly so desperate to find new sources. Right now, China controls roughly 90% of the world's capacity to refine these critical minerals. Because Beijing controls the refinement, they control the manufacturing pipelines that rely on those metals. Today, China manufactures over 80% of the world's solar panels and holds a dominant grip over the global electric vehicle battery market. To break that monopoly, the United States and its allies are looking at these. These are polymetallic nodules. They are potato-sized rocks that sit loosely on the abyssal plain, and they contain high concentrations of those necessary transition metals. The United States now treats these nodules as its ultimate strategic lifeline, a path towards securing military logistics and energy infrastructure, while ending its reliance on Chinese exports. China's strategy to maintain its lead relies on utilizing existing international frameworks. Under state directives to secure deep ocean resources, Beijing has built massive influence within the organization that regulates the seafloor, the International Seabed Authority, or ISA. Leveraging that influence at the ISA, the Chinese government and its state-backed companies have successfully secured 5 distinct 15-year exploration contracts to scour international waters. The United States, however, is locked out of that process. Because the U.S. historically refused to ratify the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, it has no voting seat at the ISA table and cannot be awarded those same global contracts. To bypass the ISA entirely, the U.S. government issued an executive order in April 2025. This order grants American federal agencies the unilateral authority to issue domestic seabed mining permits for extraction in international waters. Dragging heavy machinery generates a collector plume, forcing toxic sediments directly into the habitat. Then, toxic tailings are pumped back down, creating a midwater plume in the water column. This numerical dispersion plot shows how far those suspended particles travel. Caught in deep ocean currents, the sediment spreads widely across these depth contours, drifting miles away from the original extraction site. Because the ocean is a dynamic fluid, containing this debris is physically impossible. The mining operation functions as an uncontrollable, toxic underwater dust storm. That dust storm is hitting an environment that has been perfectly stable for millions of years. Organisms on the abyssal plain, like this deep-sea fish and these tube worms, are delicate and slow-growing. When the plumes drift through, the suspended sediments block out bioluminescence and physically suffocate filter feeders. The dirt also buries the unmined nodules that many of these species use as anchor points. Extreme noise and vibration pollution radiating from the tractors and pumps adds further stress, disrupting the biological communication and navigation systems of deep water mammals and fish. Because these specialized ecosystems completely lack the ability to adapt to sudden, violent disturbances, marine scientists warn that commercial deep-sea mining will cause an inevitable and irreversible loss of global biodiversity. We have geopolitical desperation accelerating the destruction of an ancient environment, but independent financial audits suggest the entire industry might actually be a mathematical failure. A recent analysis authored by an environmental mining expert for the Deep Sea Mining Campaign evaluated the pre-feasibility study of the metals company, one of the primary corporations pushing for extraction. Their own data shows extraction spiking early, but profit flatlining and terminating at the 8-year mark. This revenue relies on highly speculative assumptions, like paying 0 royalties. Factoring in omitted real-world expenses, such as massive closure liabilities, instantly pushes the project into deep debt. Driven by a fear of falling behind China, the United States is circumventing international regulations to authorize the destruction of an irreplaceable ecosystem. Yet the underlying math reveals an extraction model that cannot sustain itself. The race for the ocean floor is a $1 trillion pursuit of a catastrophic stranded asset.